When I was born, my mom actually turned 16 a couple weeks after I was born, and my dad had just turned 16. I was raised by my mom for a couple of years when that was not necessarily the right choice for me. I became a victim of sexual abuse, and so at that time my paternal grandparents stepped in and took custody of me and began to raise me. At that point, in kindergarten, that's kind of when that first anxiety started, because I'm looking around and I'm seeing all of these friends in my class and they have a mom and a dad, and their mom and dad don't have gray hair. It really did just start to make me feel different, and in being different at that age, you can't help but worry about what's wrong with me. What was it about me that didn't make me good enough for my parents to want me? In college, it really began to hit me again when I was away at school and I was with people that were surrounded by loving families. And again, the question of why is my mom or why is my dad not here with me caused a lot of anxiety. Like most typical college kids, turn to other ways to handle my anxiety. And so I would turn to things like alcohol and just going out and hanging out with my friends, but it would maybe make the feelings go away for the moment, for that couple hours I was out with my friends, but when I would wake up, the feeling was back. I can honestly say in my late 20s, I got a little better at handling it. I matured quite a bit. I started focusing on my career, and that was a great outlet for me. A lot of my feelings of you are good enough came out of my career. I was able to be successful. However, when I became pregnant with our first daughter, Hadley, right after we delivered, I became overwhelmed with anxiety, none other like I'd experienced my entire life. God had entrusted me with this child, and all of a sudden, those feelings of, you're not enough, you can't do this. What are you gonna do? You have to take care of this child. It's you, you have to take care of it. And I couldn't handle it. I vividly remember sitting in Hadley's room and bawling my eyes out. And my husband coming in and him being like, what's wrong, Dianne? I was like, I can't do this. I'm not enough. I cannot be her mother. Why did God give her to me? And at that time, he had to remind me that I'm not my mother, and that God chose her for me and me for her, and that I was enough. When it comes to dealing with anxiety, I have to just remember that I don't have to carry the burden alone. And that's one of the great things about having such a loving God, is that He wants us to put those burdens on His feet. We turn to those, especially for me in my small group, I turn to a lot of the other wives that we're all dealing with the same stresses. We're all having to be the caretaker, the provider, as well as work and be the great friend and be the great encourager. We have a group text, and they may not realize it or not, but just me saying, hey ladies, I'm having a hard day, I need prayer. If I'm having a bad day on Tuesday, I have at least 3 text messages on Wednesday asking if I'm any better from the day before. And just having that constant tribe to be there to support you, to remind you that you've got this, that you're not in it alone. It reminds me that I am loved and that I am enough, and that no matter what, I'm not gonna let anxiety defeat me. One thing about Jesus that is probably new that I've learned, I am always enough to be loved by Him. And that doesn't sound like rocket science. It's not something that, we know that, but to genuinely feel and to know in your heart that you are enough and you are loved by Jesus is huge. And someone with anxiety who worries nonstop, am I enough? If I'm making right decisions, is this going to be an okay day? And to just take a step back and to remember that He loves you for who you are, your anxiety and all. No matter what you do, there's no mountain He won't climb up, that He loves you. That's the best feeling.